This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. Here now, the news for September 20th, 2024. Unite Here Local 737 released a new report about the second-class job standards of Disney Springs restaurant workers who are not employed by Disney. The union wrote in their report, titled Second Class at Disney, Subcontracted Restaurant Workers at Disney Springs, quote, when guests at Walt Disney World interact with cast members, they can be confident these Disney employees have good jobs, benefits, and rights and protections of a union contract. When guests at Disney Springs restaurants interact with employees, they might assume that the employees work for Disney. It's right there in the name. In fact, many of them are not Disney employees. They're employees of the subcontractors who operate 56 of the bars, restaurants, and other food service venues at Disney Springs. Many of these Disney Springs restaurant workers do not receive important benefits, including health insurance, paid vacation time, and paid sick days. They surveyed 69 workers at the following 18 third-party Disney Springs locations. These locations employ approximately 960 workers in total. That would be Chef Art Smith's Homecoming, Enzo's Hideaway, Gideon's Bakehouse, Haagen-Dazs, Haleo, Maria and Enzo's, Morimoto Asia, Paradiso 37, Pizza Ponte, Rainforest Cafe, STK, Summer House on the Lake, The Boathouse, The Edison, Favoli Il Gelato, Wetzel's Pretzels, Wine Bar George, Ye Sake, and they found that 59% of subcontracted Disney Springs restaurant workers are part-time versus only 31% of the 18,000 Disney employees represented by Unite Here Local 737. 46% of the Disney Springs workers have no health insurance, and only 19% have health insurance through their jobs. On the other hand, 69% of Disney employees are full-time and are eligible for union-negotiated health insurance. The cast members may choose a different health insurance. All Disney employees receive paid sick time and 69% receive paid vacation time. Only 28% of the surveyed subcontractor employees receive sick time and 28% receive paid vacation time. The report comes a few months after Patina Restaurant Group employees of Disney Springs announced their intention to unionize. They also referred to their working conditions as second class. And at Disney Springs, Patina operates Morimoto Asia, The Edison, Maria and Enzo's, Enzo's Hideaway, and Pizza Ponte. So, they didn't survey a lot. Look, I know from talking to people that I've known that worked at some of these third-party places that, yeah, there's some serious problems, and the work standards are not like they are with Disney, right? And, you know, kudos to Disney last year when they reached the agreement with cast members to give them their raise and the other things they asked for. That was great. I hope we will see that here as well, because that extends here. It is true. You know, and we'll talk about this a little bit with the Splash Mountain story later. Like, you and I assume, well, you and I don't assume, but people that come to Walt Disney World who aren't you and I assume that everything is Disney owned and operated. It doesn't cross their minds that any of that stuff is third party. They don't think about that. They assume, you know, all this square acreage in Central Florida that Walt Disney purchased is inhabited by businesses operated by his company. That's what people think. And perception is reality, right? So, you know, the standard should be the same whether they're third party or not. Obviously, these are separate companies, so there will be some discrepancies here and there, but nonetheless, it should be negligible, right? It should be comparable. What's offered should be comparable whether you're a Disney employee or a third-party employee. Maybe it's, I would assume Disney has hard facts on what the actual percentages for healthcare and et cetera are for those third parties, because I'm sure they require all those third-party companies to tell them all those things. Because again, Disney knows certainly very well that what the third-party contractors on their property do reflects onto them. The Raglan Road incident where the person passed away from you know, eating something they were allergic to certainly reflects that. We've been through that nightmare, and that was, again, not Disney's fault, but certainly blew up in their face. So I'm sure they would like for all their third-party contractors to not blow this up in their face. But man, I have talked to, in my time, a lot of people that work for Patina. And I have never heard good things about working for the Patina Restaurant Group in particular. I can't speak for anything else on that list, but I have known a lot of people, some of them have worked here at some points coming from Patina. And Man, I have heard horror stories. I won't share anything, but I will tell you, that many people cannot come from one place with the same story and it not be true. So, yeah, Patina also the culprits behind the Italian nachos, by the way. So, not everyone's favorite company. They do have, Patina's so weird though, right? Because, yeah, like they seemingly don't treat their employees very well. And yeah, they operate some really bad restaurants, but they also operate, you know, Via Napoli, which I think is, you know, obviously excellent pizza. So it's weird. So they operate, I just don't understand Patina and how there could be so much variation even within a company operating venues like right on top of each other. It's just such a weird thing. But we're obviously going to follow this the same way we did when Disney cast members, you know, asked to strike and things of that sort last year, or they couldn't strike, but you know what I mean. When they essentially fought for better wages and working conditions last year, we will follow this in the same way and we will keep you updated. The Walt Disney World specialty license plate benefiting Make-A-Wish has now raised more than $3 million for the organization. 100% of the proceeds from the plate sales go directly to Make-A-Wish Central and Northern Florida. The license plate was first introduced during the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary celebration back in 2021, but the current design was rolled out last year. Florida drivers can purchase their own Walt Disney World specialty license plate at any Florida DMV or a local county tax collector's office online or in person. Pecos Bill Tall Inn and Cafe at the Magic Kingdom has updated their menu and pretty much replaced almost everything on it with a number of new items, including create your own bowl options. Pecos Bill Tall Inn and Cafe has removed the fajita platter, which makes me sad, the Angus cheeseburger, the Angus bacon cheeseburger, the double bacon barbecue cheeseburger, the beef nachos, chicken and pork carnitas nachos as well, the taco trio, and the mixed green salad. Guests dining at the restaurant can choose from citrus chipotle chicken, green chili pork, or Coca-Cola cherry braised beef as their protein for a number of dishes. Now you have that option. Meanwhile, to replace the burgers is the new double chili con queso burger, which is 2 flame-broiled all-beef patties topped with chili con carne, chipotle queso, and corn chips served with barbecue cheddar seasoned fries for $16.49. There's also a new plant-based grilled masa flatbread available all day. This grilled corn flatbread is topped with sweet potatoes, stewed pinto beans, plant-based pepper jack cheese, shredded lettuce, pico de gallo, and plant-based lime crema for $10.49. And guests can add chicken, beef, or pork to said flatbread. Sides include the new barbecue cheddar seasoned fries, the charros beans, and plant-based cilantro lime rice instead of just cilantro rice. Guacamole is still available as a side for $2.50. Tortilla chips, pinto beans, and Uncrustables have been removed as sides. Uncrustables is a side? It's weird. Previous desserts included the non-fat Greek yogurt and the peach and raspberry trifle. They've been replaced with the following. There is a sweet corn mousse, which is a white chocolate and raspberry powder concoction that looks like a cob of corn for $6.29. There's also a Mexican chocolate and horchata verine for $5.49. According to Disney Parks blog, they said the mini churros with chocolate sauce are still available. We did not see them there, and they were not on the mobile order for us, so don't count on that. Eric and I did hustle over to Magic Kingdom yesterday to be the first to try this new menu for all of you. We have a full review you can watch. We tried every single item, every side, everything for you. You can watch it right here on the channel. If you'd rather read it, it's also available at WDWNT.com. But please check that out. I was pleasantly surprised, very, very surprised with the results. Arribas Brothers has 2 new sets of Haunted Mansion glassware available for pre-order at both their Disney Springs store and as well on Main Street USA at the Magic Kingdom. The glassware is at Crystal Arts by Arribas Brothers in the Marketplace section of Disney Springs and also again in the glass store on Main Street. Each set includes 3 glasses. They come in a coffin-shaped box with the Haunted Mansion logo and Madame Leota pictured on the lid. The box is lined with foam to keep the glasses protected, and the inside of the lid is lined with green and black stripes inspired by the Haunted Mansion's cast member costumes. The first set is the Hitchhiking Ghost glass set, which features a different one of the 3 hitchhiking ghosts on each one of the glasses. The images are etched into the glass, as you might imagine, and above each ghost is the Haunted Mansion logo. The second glass set, also $99, features the 3 hitchhiking ghosts on one glass. The other glasses feature Madame Leota, and the last one features the Haunted Mansion sign. Again, you could pre-order those at both locations. These are very cool. I love the box makes it, man. It's really great. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT, and their team will design your next magical vacation, from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts to Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. They're also able to book unforgettable VIP tours where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. And the best part is their concierge services are 100% free, so book today. 2 new and 2 returning Halloween treats are coming to Hollywood studios soon. The Disney Eats Instagram account announced this, but they didn't say exactly when or where these items would be available. Some they said location, but nonetheless, the new Ghost Cream Puff is sour apple custard filled cream puff topped with toasted meringue and chocolate chip. That's an unfortunate look for that toasted meringue, by the way. Also new is the caramel apple shake, which is caramel and green apple shake topped with whipped cream and Halloween chocolate bark shard with M&M's chocolate candies. This has similar flavors to the Magic Kingdom's apple fritter milkshake from 2023. The Pumpkin Patch Cookie is returning. It's pumpkin spice snickerdoodle topped with pumpkin spice buttercream and pumpkin candies. It was previously available at Catalina Eddie's. Lastly, the Pumpkin Lunchbox Tart is returning to Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land. This is a pumpkin pie-filled pastry tart with marshmallow fondant, candy corn, and Halloween sprinkles. Of course, we'll tell you when and where all those treats end up being available. Stay tuned. Walt Disney World has shared that the Surfboard Bay Pool and Kiddie Pool at Disney's All-Star Sports Resort will close for maintenance in early 2026. The Surfboard Bay Pool and Kiddie Pool will be closed from January 2026 until late April 2026. The notice was provided well in advance on the Walt Disney World website. They do this because people obviously book Disney hotels many months in advance, and so rather than announce this after people have booked a stay in January of 2026. Obviously, a lot of people might want to cancel or move to another hotel at that point. It's best to announce these things way in advance. So this is pretty normal. And so no, that's not a mistake. I didn't say 2026 by accident, that it's actually when this is happening. But during the closure, the baseball diamond-shaped Grand Slam leisure pool featuring a goofy fountain will still be open. Guests are also welcome to use the Calypso pool, piano pool, and kiddie pool at All-Star Music, and the Fantasia pool, Duck Pond pool, and kiddie pool at Disney's All-Star Movies Resort. We noticed a few more finishing details in the construction at Tiana's Bayou Adventure this week, including new trees, flowers, and stained glass at Disneyland Park. Most of the scaffolding has been removed around the entrance of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is now yellow and green. It's a similar color scheme to the round barn in the Tiana's Bayou Adventure queue at Magic Kingdom. The building was previously brown when it was Splash Mountain. In our previous update, we shared new light fixtures that were visible around the main entrance. Now there's also a green metal structure painted green with yellow flowers coming from the top, as well as pink stained glass water lily on iron bars. Here's a closer look at those yellow flowers on the strange green structure at the entrance. And here's a closer look at the pink stained glass water lily above the entrance. We noticed that the speakers have started to be installed in the queue as well, and work was completed on the ride's millhouse, which got new roofing. Green moss details have been added over some of the new shingles, and equipment and scaffolding has been removed. There's also a purple banner above the entrance of the millhouse, matching the one in Florida. Tiana's Bayou Adventure sign is just behind the wall of the entrance. There are also light poles in the queue, as well as a few new trees. On the back side of the attraction, there have been a few details added as well, including purple and green framing on the building and stonework added to the far right. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is scheduled to open on November 15, 2024, and as part of the attraction's creation, Critter Country has been renamed Bayou Country. The Disney Treasure cruise ship has left its German shipyard on Wednesday to complete a 20-mile river trip bound for sea trials before its Port Canaveral debut, reports the Orlando Sentinel. The Treasure's first float out was in August. This week it left the Meyerwerf shipyard in Papenburg, where 3 previous Disney Cruise Line ships were also constructed. The ship will travel to the Ems River to the Netherlands. It will then make its way to the North Sea for sea trials. Hamburg Port live streamed the Treasure slowly leaving the shipyard at 3 to 5 miles per hour. The video offers some of the first views of the ship's completed exterior, including the Captain Hook and Peter Pan stern figures and the Voyager Mini bow medallion. The treasure is approximately the same size and layout of the Disney Wish, which launched in 2022. It'll feature the first Haunted Mansion parlor bar, which will also be in the Disney Destiny, a Broadway-style show that's brand new called Disney Tale of Moana, and it also debuted Plaza de Coco, a Coco-themed dinner show restaurant. The Disney Treasure's maiden voyage out of Port Canaveral will begin on December 21st, 2024. We will be on that. I've also been led to believe we're going to be on the media cruise before that, so we're going to have all sorts of treasure content for you guys coming up in December, so stay tuned. But we're not done talking about the treasure just yet, as Disney Cruise Line announced that guests sailing on the ship will be able to purchase an exclusive DisneyBand Plus design. This also, you could call it a Magic Band Plus. It's essentially the same thing. The Disney Treasure DisneyBand Plus is $44.99. Its design is white and dark blue with aqua blue wave designs. The Disney Treasure logo is on one side of the band, and artwork of the ship is on the puck. The band is already available to view online for guests with early Disney Treasure sailings. And DisneyBand Plus is Disney Cruise Line's version of Magic Band Plus. The bands can be used to unlock staterooms, link photos, and debark the ship. They can be purchased in advance of sailing or on the ship. There will be limited quantities of the Disney Treasure design in total, they've said. I pre-ordered mine today. I was like, these are cool. My parents will like these. I bought them a little Christmas gift. That's okay. My mother never remembers to watch this show, so she won't know. It's fine. Watch. Now she'll watch. I'll get a text message. Oh, you didn't have to buy us those. It's fine. We recently stayed in one of the renovated Mickey and Friends deluxe rooms of Disney's Hollywood Hotel at Hong Kong Disneyland Resort. The renovated rooms open this spring and feature Art Deco artwork and architecture inspired by old Hollywood. It's a bit of a glow up. To watch the full room tour, you could do that right here on our channel, or you could read it at WDWNT.com. They're very, very cool. Reach for the Stars, a new nighttime projection show on Cinderella Castle, has debuted at Tokyo Disneyland. In addition to castle projection, it features lights and pyrotechnics. And Reach for the Stars brings Disney characters to life as they soar through the night sky in pursuit of their dreams. Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and more Marvel superheroes appear in the show, marking the first ever appearance of Marvel characters in Tokyo Disney Resort Entertainment. The new nighttime spectacular is 20 minutes long and will be performed once or twice daily. And Disney Premier Access is available for the show if you'd like reserved viewing. You can watch the full show right here on our channel. We, of course, were there to film it for you, so check it out. I'm waiting. I just, at this point, I'm like, I'll probably be back to Tokyo sooner rather than later. I'm going to wait to watch it then. But you don't have to. You can watch it right now. But I don't have any opinions or thoughts yet because I want to wait. In 2020, it was announced that Splash Mountain at the Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom and at Disneyland Park would be closed and converted into a ride themed to Disney's The Princess and the Frog. What seemed to be lost in that shuffle was that Tokyo Disney Resort and its managing Oriental Land Company were holding out on said project, leaving one problematic log flume attraction remaining in Disney's portfolio. Well, it appears now that the change is on the horizon for the world's last Splash Mountain attraction. Of course, as you know, America has an uncomfortable history with racism that simply doesn't exist in Japan, a country that is, if we're being very honest, not culturally diverse. So it's understandable that there's no desire really in Japan to replace a popular ride in a country that only sees Splash Mountain as a collection of cute country critters. However, it does make sense that Disney would like the Tokyo version of Splash Mountain to close, as their name is on the resort as a whole. And while you and I are aware that the Tokyo Disney Resort is owned and operated by the Oriental Land Company, again, similar to the Disney Springs third-party restaurants, a vast majority of the world would assume that Disney controls the property as they do a majority of their parks around the world. Now, we here at WDWNT have spoken to a number of sources inside the Walt Disney Company over the last 4 years about the possibility of Splash Mountain being closed in Japan. This has obviously been an evolving story. Obviously Oriental Land Company wasn't interested at day one. The initial story was that OLC just didn't want it because their audience does not connect to The Princess and the Frog. That is not a movie that I've ever seen any love or admiration for over there. And I feel like the ways you can gauge if the Japanese audience connects to a franchise usually is, number one, do you see guests wearing any plush or clothes or accessories from that film? And two would be, do you see either the Disney stores across Japan or the stores at Tokyo Disney Resort selling products from that franchise. And in my 5+ years of visiting there, I have not seen any signs of the Princess and the Frog. But anyway, to continue the story, as time has progressed, we've heard that Disney has continually asked OLC to reconsider the project, but the reoccurring story we've been told is that Disney was even at several points offering to foot some of the bill if Tokyo Disneyland would replace Splash Mountain. The other consistent tale we've been told is that Tokyo would not build Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but instead would ask Walt Disney Imagineering to design something wholly unique for this replacement that would fit the area where this attraction is, which is sort of between Western Land and Fantasyland in the park along the river there. Now, according to sources, OLC has agreed to whatever Disney's offer may have been. We're never going to know what that is. It's never going to come out. But supposedly, again, this is all rumor at this point, a team of Imagineers is hard at work creating what will be the replacement for the last operating Splash Mountain on Earth at Tokyo Disneyland. Now, in the last few days, you may remember on Monday's show, we were kind of ahead of the curve. On Monday's show, I occasionally here, I'll drop a little bit of information as I hear things. Now, I kind of teased that, yeah, Splash Mountain in Japan is not gonna last. Now, after I teased that on the show, some people on social media kind of ran away with it and created their own narrative, and I wanna clear that up a little bit for everybody. From what we have heard over the years, so what the discourse has been online is that somehow Disney was threatening OLC that either they do this or else. I have never heard in the course of any of these rumors anything about any hostility between OLC and Disney. I think it's always been Disney's like, hey, do you want this? They're like, oh, no, thank you. and it's, you know, I don't know if people know this, but in Japanese culture, they're typically very, very polite. And in business, you know, there are, you know, to give you some backstory real quick, some historical context. When Michael Eisner and Frank Wells were in charge of the Walt Disney Company, they kind of just decided that the second park at Tokyo Disney Resort would be a Disney MGM Studios. They kind of didn't ask the Oriental Land Company if that's what they wanted, and just assume that's what they were doing. And so Bob Weiss has told the story, and you'll actually see this. We're going to put out the Bob Weiss interview I did a couple months ago very soon, and he'll tell his story with a little more detail. But as the story goes, in order to be polite, in front of in a boardroom meeting where obviously it's, you know, the management of the Walt Disney Company and Walt Disney Imagineering on one side and management of OLC on the other, in all of those meetings about the MGM park for Japan, the OLC representatives would never, in front of a room, in a room full of managers and their subordinates, would never say, we're not interested in this project, because they deemed that was rude. So like, obviously Bob Weiss and all involved could tell that they just weren't responsive at the meeting. So finally, Bob had a separate meeting with the head of OLC in a closed room where he flat out asked, do you even want this project? And they said, no, we are not actually interested. So again, you know, the cultural differences are interesting, as opposed to in America where in a corporate boardroom, someone would just come out and say they're not a fan of something, most likely. That's not gonna happen here. That's just not the way this is playing out. So wherever you read that, that's just not the truth. There's been no threats here. They are very happy business partners. I could not imagine a world where the Walt Disney Company is angry at OLC and signed documents to let them be the first company to operate one of their cruise ships. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So I don't choose to believe that narrative. Again, it's all hearsay at this point. But from what we have heard, it's very much been the opposite, where Disney's like, we know that you like this, and we know you don't really want to do this project because you have a lot on your docket already. So maybe there's some, I believe there is some sort of incentive from Disney for OLC to make this change, and that's what's happening here. Now, as for when we think Splash Mountain may close forever at Tokyo Disneyland, we don't think it's too soon. At the earliest, we would expect 2027 or 2028, as there are a number of large ongoing projects at the resort. As you know, the original Space Mountain closed forever back in July, and Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters is going to close next month. That Wreck-It Ralph shooter attraction is not going to replace Buzz until 2026. So there's a lot of time before that opens. And of course, they have said the new Space Mountain will not be ready until 2027. Both of those barring construction delays, which of course could happen. You never know. But obviously, it wouldn't be wise to take another major ride offline for 12 to 18 months while those are going on. That it seems like it's not a good plan. Now, as for what Disney intellectual property might take over the mountain in Tokyo's Critter Country, that remains a mystery. None of our sources would tell us what that might be. We have guesses from Pocahontas to Chip and Dale to Bambi, but who knows? We simply actually don't know. All we know is that enough sources at this point have told us this is in motion that I would believe it is. Now, I'll give you the same boilerplate we always have to, that nothing is official until it's official. Nothing has been stated by the Walt Disney Company. Nothing has been stated by the Oriental Land Company. Nothing is official until they choose to do it. Of course, things can change, right? We've seen that a million times. Now, plans are being drawn up. Whether or not Oriental Land Company likes the plans that are drawn up and how long the back and forth will be, et cetera, remains to be seen. Or maybe it's already signed off on. We don't know. But it does seem, I would be surprised if given how much we've heard about this, I would be shocked if we are not saying goodbye to Splash Mountain at Tokyo Disneyland, which is very sad. Now, on the other hand, I will tell you, in everything I've seen from the Oriental Land Company and every attraction they've delivered with Walt Disney Imagineering at the helm, they've knocked it out of the park. They don't really miss. And so I at the same time, obviously, I'm very sad because it's the last one, and it's the best one. It's probably why I wasn't really sad about losing the California-Florida one, because they were inferior to this one anyway, especially by the end. So it's very sad, but at the same time, I'm also really excited because, man, Tokyo has this knack usually for picking an IP that's kind of underrepresented elsewhere and doing something big and cool with it. Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast is a great example. Now, obviously, we have a Beauty and the Beast section at Magic Kingdom, but nothing compares to Enchanted Tale. So just thinking like something like that kind of budget, those kind of animatronics being utilized for perhaps a really underrepresented IP that I really connect with would be super cool, but we'll have to wait and see. But let us know in the comments how you feel about it. And I will tell you, if you've been putting off that once-in-a-lifetime dream trip to Japan, and Splash Mountain was one of the reasons you're looking forward to it, I would get cracking on figuring that trip out, because time is of the essence. For the absolute latest on these stories and all that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all the WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. Also, if you're a WIGS member, you have a very early pre-order, pre-purchase opportunity for the Santa Gertie plush. Get yours now. The link is exclusively in Patreon or our Discord for you right now. And I will tell you, there are more WIGS members in existence than there are Santa Gertie plush that have been ordered. So they could sell out purely to WIGS members. I don't know that that's going to happen, but it is a possibility, just so you are aware. So if you're a WIGS member, make sure you take advantage of that. Don't wait, because don't be left out in the cold like the people that waited on the original Gertie plush, which now I believe we are out of. Make sure you get yours locked in. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.